y'all, it's your girl Lady, and if you're new to this channel, thanks for stopping by. And if you're already a part of the Life Endeavors family, hey y'all, make sure to do what? You got it. So it looks like as of February 28th, the Supreme Court will be hearing arguments in reference to the student loan forgiveness. So I don't know why they're making it so hard. I mean, either you forgive the money or you don't. They're giving all this money to all these other countries, Ukraine. They are helping them with their efforts of war in other places as well. And you can definitely check that video out. I'll leave it at the end. So it really doesn't make a whole bunch of sense other than to go ahead and forgive student loans. And so I'm going to be reading from the article Forbes.com, and I'll leave a link to it at the end of this video. It'll be down in the description. And it says, the Biden administration student loan debt relief plan will debate before the Supreme Court on February 28th. It also states the two lawsuits against the plan argues that the Biden administration overstepped its legal authority in canceling billions in student loan debt. And I wonder why that is. Is it because you need that student loan debt to do what? Put more fuel in your private jet or your yacht? They're giving all this money to basically corporations, and small businesses are the ones that keep the economy afloat, yet they are the ones who seem to do the worst and get the worst. We can go all the way back when they were giving all that bailout money and all those PPP loans, that all the people that already had money were able to scheme and get more money. I mean, banks were even able to pick and choose who they were going to do the loans for because they were getting commission. I mean, we can talk about a whole bunch, but we ain't even finna go there. I ain't even gonna give it my energy. However, it also says, this particular article also says, the administration alongside the Departments of Education and Justice hold the HEROES Act of 2003 permits such relief. Now, I mean, we all know for the last 3 years, there's been millions of students, who have gotten student loans, so that they can further their education to try to get a better job. However, for whatever reason, there are no jobs. Although all these companies are saying people don't want to work and there's no jobs, I see a multitude of jobs all the time. However, when you apply for those jobs, you're not getting picked. And somebody else is getting picked. Obviously not, because the jobs stay on the website and it's a year later and the job is still vacant. So that makes no sense, but that's neither here nor there. And as I was stating about the student loans, this article is stating that bars have enjoyed a little more wiggle room in their budget. Yeah, have they? I'm not seeing the wiggle room. You hear me? According to, Biden's administration, the pause is set to be lifted this year. Yet they don't have a date of when, the pause is going to be lifted, which is another point. A lot of people are like, okay, so you keep saying this, but when is this going to happen? And whether millions of student borrowers will receive student loan debt relief by the Supreme Court is still, yet to be determined. Now, I did read at one point there were 16 million people who were approved, and that was of the 26 million in total that applied. Okay, what does that mean? They were approved, but their loans didn't get forgiven. So that don't matter. Until that money is no longer showing that you owe it and there's a big fat goose egg, it don't matter if you was approved. It don't matter if you got a letter. I got a letter just telling me about the next topic. So let's jump in. I know that was a good segue, wasn't it? So I'm not sure if you guys received the letter as I did, and I'm pulling it, I'm grabbing it, I know y'all probably like, why she don't never have her stuff ready? I do sometimes. It just depends. It just depends. So, I did get a letter from Bar Defense. I had did a Bar Defense application back in, I'm gonna say 2017, 2016, somewhere right in there. Might have been 2018. Who's counting? However, for whatever reason, it didn't get approved or whatever. And I got this letter in 2022, in August of 2022 to be exact. And it is in reference to the it's from like I said, student loan borrower offense, and it's in reference to the kind of showing you. It's in reference to when I filed my original borrower defense application, asking the U.S. Department of Education to cancel some or all of my federal student loan debt, because it says you allege the school you or your child attended engaged in unlawful conduct. We write to inform you that there is a proposed settlement in a class action lawsuit that could affect your claim, and to explain how your legal rights may be affected by that law. So the class action lawsuit, it says you may have been previously informed of a class action lawsuit called Sweet versus DeVos, which challenged the department's delay in issuing final decisions on borrower defense application, including yours. You also may have been informed in 2020 that the parties had proposed a settlement of the lawsuit subject to the court's approval. The court did not approve that proposed settlement, so the lawsuit continued. And then you can go to the website and find more about it. Well, pretty much I went to a couple of schools, and they did engage in some unlawful activity and unlawful conduct, such as like a program I was in. I didn't want to be in that program. I requested to be in a different program. However, they actually put me in the program that the advisor had felt was best for me. However, that program was not accredited, and that was my issue, because they, for whatever reason, I guess at one point they had lost accreditation. And I look into all that stuff. I like to make sure that what I'm transferring in is all gonna be counted. I like to make sure that it's accredited nationally, not just locally. So I look at all that stuff, and I had made it very clear. I already had a background in business and stuff, so I didn't want to get a degree in it. Like, for me, I don't need you to teach me what I know. And I may not do it the way the book does it, but I still do it in a legal way. And it worked for my business, so there was no need for me to pay to go to school to learn about something that I was already doing and experiencing and had been for quite some time. So why do I need the book definition? I don't. So because I had all that experience and background, what I wanted to go to school for, the person was like, I think you should just stick with business because you know it, and you're just really getting the book stuff, and you're gonna be golden, you're gonna sail through. And it was like, no. And I had emails and everything. The gentleman put me in that program anyway. The program wasn't even accredited, but they were, they got the first tuition of monies off of me. And when I seen it, of course, I was pissed. Lo and behold, I left the school, but that monies didn't go back into my bucket. Went to another school to get into the program that I wanted to be in. Kind of had where the program wasn't accredited, but they told me it was nationally. It was regionally, but not nationally. So, like, things of that nature. But as these things were happening, the monies are not going back into my bucket. I'm disputing it and things with the Department of U.S. Education. So, there is a list of these schools that I will definitely say, please go and check them out. And I will have them here on the screen so that you can actually see. But all of these schools are a part of the lawsuit. So if you see that you've attended any one of these schools, you definitely want to reach out to the Department of Education if that is your servicer for your student loans. If it's not, definitely reach out to the servicer of your student loan so that you can find out, and you can get more information about the lawsuit on class counsel's website. And that information will also again be in the description. Now, it's showing that the settlement for borrowers who applied for borrower defense relief after June 22nd, 2022, but before the final approval of the settlement, will either still be able to, be a part of the agreement. And it says the department will issue a decision on the application no later than 36 months after the court's approval of the settlement agreement becomes final. So it's not saying that if you didn't do it within that time, you can't be involved. It's just they're probably going to look more into it and make sure that you didn't just slide in at the end to say, hey, no, I was affected too. So that's something, like I said, I definitely wanted to bring to your attention, because I thought it was really, really interesting how they will take our money, want us to pay, yet we didn't get the education. And we have documentation and proof to show that they bamboozled us out of money, but it doesn't go back into our bucket. And y'all already know that this is life, and I'm not editing nothing out, and I'm not changing anything. Dogs bark. So, must be some, we got a backyard full of groundhogs. And I'm assuming that's what she's smelling. So, she'll be all right. So that was, like I said, interesting, and I definitely wanted to bring it to your attention. Another thing is, why won't they just go ahead and set up penalties for these schools? They get all this free money off of a student, and then they won't, set up any penalties, and they keep our money. And we can use that money to actually build businesses and grow, and to actually get the education that we are going after. And if you see me keep looking at my phone, it's just because I'm wanting to make sure to give you all the information and not just some. So it looks like the Forbes article also brought up a case, Biden versus Nebraska, which was filed on behalf of 6 states that make a multi-pronged argument. And this is the argument in reference to education, student loan forgiveness. It says the Department of Education doesn't have the legal authority to cancel student loan debt en masse. Mass student loan debt relief violates the separation of government powers. The plan would cause financial harm to the states and companies that would see a loss of student debt related profits. So how are they receiving a loss if it's profits? They're just not going to get it. They didn't lose anything. They just didn't gain something that they don't deserve. President Biden is using the pandemic as pretext to fulfill campaign promises to wipe out student loan debt. So here's the thing. Why not wipe out the student loan debt, especially for individuals that went to school, didn't get the education that they were supposed to, or either they got education, got out, and weren't able to get a job in that educational field, even though you guys push, go to school, get an education, you'll get out, get a job, you can live better. That was a lie. The lie to take the test said that was a lie. So, but who am I? In November, the 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals reversed the ruling and issued a nationwide injunction. The court argued that one state, Missouri, had legal standing as its higher education loan authority would lose profits under the plan. As a result, it permitted the lawsuit to continue and blocked the plan pending appeal. And like I said, this article will be down in the description, so you can definitely read it. However, that's mess. Like, as a person that went to school to get 3 degrees and go through the rigmarole, and I feel like I'm in a good place. My situation is totally on board with other people's. it's just very disappointing when you go out here, you borrow this money with all plans to pay it back, to go work a job, and then all the jobs are gone to other countries. All the monies to build a business and things you weren't able to get, while big corporations were able to get it. I mean, they're bailing these individuals who already have abundant wealth out, and the middle class and the individuals under the poverty line or at the poverty line are just bearing the burden. Why am I carrying the bricks to build someone else's house? No, I'm putting the bricks down. So, it's just, kind of like they just, as the article said, rip your future away. And if you don't believe me, definitely check out this article. It's so much that can be impacted in this article. Yet, I read it for my own personal reasons, and I wanted to share it with you guys. What do you think about it? How are you feeling about student loan debt? Do you have it? Do you have individuals that are struggling with it? What are some solutions that you have found to help you get over the hump? So I definitely like to hear it, and I will definitely reach back out because I do try to read comments. The moment that the student loan debt is forgiven, and if you are a part of this lawsuit, or if you have went on to your student loan, if you went on your student loan servicer, you can actually sign up to be notified once the student loan decision has been made, if they're going to forgive it, how much will be forgiven, things of that nature. You'll get notified. So I definitely say, if you are interested in knowing when the student loan forgiveness information is available, and it's been approved, definitely go ahead and reach out to your student loan service provider so you can get that information. Now, if you have received Pell Grants, you can get up to $20,000 of student loan debt forgiveness. If you have not, you can get up to $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness. So, I mean, that's a nice, nice buck. The way inflation is, $5,000-$10,000 may not go far for you. For me, it's gonna go far. Your girl is a budgeter, so I don't play no games when it comes to my coin. Yet, it seems like a lot of students remain stalled by SCOTUS, a massive coalition of state, local government, and scholars. They came out in favor of a widespread relief, which I am one of those people. It doesn't make sense that you're just not getting the help that you deserve. Now, I will say that amicus briefs in favor of student loan forgiveness program in California, Colorado, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, New York, North Carolina, where I'm at, Pennsylvania, Washington, and others, in favor of forgiveness spans the country, and that's including Ann Arbor, Michigan, Atlanta, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Gary, Indiana, Houston, Jackson, Mississippi, Kansas City, Missouri, Little Rock, Arkansas, Montgomery, Alabama, St. Paul, Minnesota, San Francisco, Tucson, and Waterloo, Ohio. They're all like, let us get this coin. Let us get this money. Go ahead and forgive it. And rightly so. Among other things, Secretary's actions will increase consumer spending and business development, promote home ownership, close troubling workforce gaps, and prevent rural brain drain. Now, I don't know what that is, but you're welcome to look it up. I'm not. However, I do agree that forgiving the student loan debt will allow people to free up some of the anxiety that they have, that they put in that bucket to go towards, like, how I'm gonna pay my student loans. They'll be able to purchase a home. They'll be able to, expand their business or even start a business, which will help boost the economy. And that's just in my opinion. I'm not an economist. Like I said, I know how to watch my money. I can't watch yours, but I can bring you the information so that you can look up, your coin and how it's going to benefit you going forward, when these people out here playing with your money. I mean, it ain't even money no more. It's just numbers on the screen. But hey, like I said, definitely wanted to bring you that information so that you can get out here and find out what's going on in reference to, looking at school, going to school. If you have children that may be going to school sooner or later or not at all, you just want to know what's going on, because you don't want to put yourself in more of a hole if you don't have to. And unfortunately at this time, they say that, school is still in play, and it's the best route. Some people say it's not. You have to make whatever decision is best for you. If you are going to school, or for your loved ones that may want to attend school, and that way at least you have the information, so it doesn't hurt to look it up, to ask questions, so that what your next step is. And so that's all I have for you. I'll catch you in the next one.